Check, check. What's poppin'? Hi, Caroline. Hi, Santi. Weather HQ. Travis, Leanne. MK. It is going good. Alright. Alright. Oh, wait. Why is this? Hold up. Hold up here. Hold up here. Oh. That feels better. That feels better. Well, my lives have been a little more inconsistent since I have a 7-day-old. But I'll get back into my normal routine. So that's partially why some people have been missing lives, because I've been doing like random lives during the day and squeezing stuff in. I'm trying to get a team together to help me with everything. You know, I'm like running my merch site, my Instagram, my X, my Discord, my TikTok, my Facebook, doing all sorts of other stuff. So, but I'll have that fixed. Yeah, this needs to be straight, or else it's gonna make me angry, chat. I feel like is that straight? My OCD. All right, that works. I like that. Oh yeah, Caroline, I saw yours fulfilled. There's like a couple more that need to be fulfilled that should be fulfilled tomorrow with the latest. So shipping is 3 to 5 days, but it's obviously included. The fulfillment can take 1 day. Like, you can order it and it can be fulfilled that day. Sometimes the fulfillment usually will not take more than 72 hours. Some items fulfilled literally within 12 hours, and some still haven't fulfilled, and it's been 48. So, if things go well, it's there in 4 to 5 days. If things go wrong, it's there in like 7 to 8 days. So, but I'm learning all that too. You know, this is a learning process for me. Yeah. But that's why I'm going to get people involved who can help. Why are there so many storms in Florida right now? Not much. Nothing. No storms in Florida currently. There were some earlier in the day, though. There's a little bit up there near Jacksonville. Some rain showers moving off the coast of Spring Hill. All we got is flash flood warning right now. Guys, we have a very active look ahead. I wonder if the SBC... Did any of you notice they put a day 6 risk and then they took it away like in the next update? Did any of you notice that? Let me see if they have it here now. That was super confusing. They do. Okay. They placed this, and guys, you know when you put in day 4 or out risk zones, that's high confidence. And you're usually going to get at least an enhanced, if not a moderate out of it. But this was placed, the next SBC update, God, let me pause real quick. This was placed, the next SBC update, they removed it, and then the next one they put it back. Do we have a day 7 yet? We're gonna have multiple days of severe weather, so I don't think they have a day 7. Day 5, they're gonna. I think tomorrow we have a day 6 right now. Tomorrow we're gonna have a day 4 and day 5, and maybe a day 6. I think, you know what, I'm predicting tomorrow we're gonna have a day 4, 5, and 6. Well, maybe we should look at the HRRR and figure that out, right? Yeah, you know, they say there's going to be a lot of capping, but will there be a lot of capping? That's hard to predict more than 24 hours out. But yeah, I see what they're looking at. I woke up, I was like, oh crap, day 6 slight. Lunchtime came around. I was making a video and I was like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? So I used CSU. I was at Colorado State University, still has it. And then I was like at the mall and with my wife and the little baby daughter. My stepmom was watching the toddler, but and I looked again and I was like, oh, it's back, or at least I didn't see it was back, but I saw that people were saying it was back. What's going on, Storm Chaser? Well, my Facebook is like I just try to make sure it's like maintained, but the main stuff that I'm on every day is TikTok, Instagram, and Discord. Well, and Shopify and my website. You know, X, I make sure I post my announcement to it every day, and then Facebook, I just make sure that the stuff is getting to it every day. But it's like, ugh. My sister's gonna get involved too to help me with that. What's going on? K Millie. Jess, I appreciate you. I just got here. Is there going to be severe weather? Okay, guys, should we just go? Should we go take a look at what's going to be happening? Yeah, we should do that. Let's take a little look, Shay. Let's take a little look. So, should we look at the GFS or should we look at the Euro first? Let's look at the GFS. That'll be fun. Let's see what the GFS is seeing. Let's just first take a look at our 500 millibar height. This is extremely important. Our jet streams really control everything. So 500 millibar height and wind. This is a good map to look at. Here we go. See that? See that dig? Here we go. Now, not much happens. You say, why isn't there a bunch of severe weather out here when this happens? Well, the waters out here are very cold. Okay, water's in here. Probably right now. High 70s, low 80s in some areas. But yeah, waters out here are like 60s. So you're not getting a lot of evaporation and moisture pulled in. You are getting some. You're getting some. We do get moisture pulled in here, but we get real intense moisture and heat and humidity pulled in off the Gulf. So the jet stream just kind of tickles the west coast there, and then it gets amplified here as it ejects through the tornado alley. But there we go. You can see the divergence, guys. Notice there's a tight jet as we push through here. See how this is a good, clean-looking jet right there, and then you have your jet streak. Now watch what happens as this good thing goes north. Boom. You guys see how this gets all ripply? Looks like ripply water in there. That's divergence. So you have upper level winds, upper level air moving away from each other, and that's creating a pocket for strong updrafts, thunderstorms. So you can see that on 500 millibar map. Southeast Missouri is sitting this out. We voted to not have anymore. That'd be great if you could vote on it. I feel like Oklahomans would say, nah, bring it. But yeah, big. It's weird though. You've got almost two separate events that look like they can happen. You've got this diverging band down here, and then you've also got this up here. This is a really weird look. Upper level low, surface low. I don't even know what's going on. I'm gonna have to look at that then too. Ejecting off into Hoosier Alley up there, Owensboro. Yeah, casual 90 mile per hour winds. Okay, no, this isn't the upper atmosphere, our mid atmosphere. And then look at, oh my gosh, ho! Has Matt seen this? Has Mezzo Matt seen this? That's a beaut. Chat. Oh my gosh. Look at, if this was during winter, you'd have negative 10 degrees down here with a vertical trough like that. Yeah, let's call him. Right now, hey Matt, right now BC, possibly. Hey, the new GFS or the 18Z out towards May 18th, May 19th, when you have that super vertical trough.
Yep, I was looking at that earlier, dude. That looks like a high-risk caliber day.
It does. Tornado Alley, and then it ejects through the Ohio Valley.
It's literally like everything that happens between Wednesday and Sunday is like, yeah, it's all right, most of the imaging.
Yeah.
The next Monday, Tuesday, and it's like, boom.
That looks crazy, man. I haven't looked at the low level yet. Is the Euro seeing anything similar? I'm on stream, so again, don't say anything incriminating. I know we always do.
The 12Z, let me take a look at the low level jet, by the way, for that Monday, Tuesday, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. 55, 59 knots, 60 knots down there. Western Kentucky, Western Tennessee.
Yeah, it's gonna hit us every day. Until
That's Tuesday night ish.
European run as of now.
Yeah, let me look at. I guess I'll
It's got it, but it's less intense. But it is there. Yeah, I mean it is there. It's going Monday, Tuesday, 19th, 20th.
There's this weird this first if you look at the 500 millibar in the euro, this like Wednesday, Thursday event, it looks like we could have kind of some severe weather down in the southern plains and up through the central to northern plains. It's kind of a split jet.
I was talking to one of my friends that's a meteorologist in northern Kansas.
Yeah.
And they were saying that look, even though the shear's there, it's going to be so capped.
Yeah.
All conditional, all hazards day, I think, on Wednesday and Thursday there.
Yeah. We'll have to see if that changes, but I think you're right. There's a ton of divergence. There's a ton of there's a ton of divergence happening up in the northern plains, but okay, well that's interesting.
Yeah, you can see if you look at like on the European, you can see there on the 15th, the Thursday at 060. I mean, you can see the divergence split between southern Kansas and southern Oklahoma and northern Kansas. You can just see where the jet stream splits.
Yeah, where on what day?
European 12Z Thursday at 060. So basically midnight on 12
Yeah.
a.m. on Thursday.
Oh yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's splitting in.
Let's see too how this high pressure does this week underneath those lows coming in, because that could stunt moisture. No, that's not going to stunt moisture because moisture's already there. I was reading something about there being an issue with the high pressure. I'll have to get back to you on that tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah, the one that's sitting down in the Gulf as this thing moves in, or I have to zoom out here. Let me get out of. I got to go back to continental.
The high pressure systems was pulling in the instability. I mean, Thursday on the Euro, we're pushing 6,000 tape in southern Illinois.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
In the world.
Let me look at this. Upper air dynamics, vorticity.
Yeah, this is impressive. We just need our low-level winds to be a little bit more intense, and I think that'll come in last minute once Mesoscale picks up on it.
Yeah. I was telling chat, I woke up in the morning, SBC had a day 6 risk, and then at lunch I checked, and they didn't. And then I checked later in the day, and they put it back. I was like, they pulled it and then placed it again.
I think we're going to get a day, was it a day 7 or day 6 again, day 7 tonight? Hopefully we should. We should get some more information on this.
Yeah, I think so.
They're issuing it so late.
Even if it's a conditional, it should be issued, but... All right, I'm gonna do a little bit more research on this. Are you doing any streaming tonight? What's going on?
No, I'm taking tonight off. I'll be back at it tomorrow.
Nice.
We're all on some COD tonight.
Nice. All right, dude. I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Sounds good, bud.
See you. All right. Can you tell me what weather will be like by me Tuesday afternoon? Yes, I can. Tuesday. Ooh. Looks a little messy. You know, it depends on the speed of this moisture. This can slow down, and you could have a potentially not so bad day. But it's looking like scattered showers on Tuesday. Really kicking off in the afternoon. 1-2 p.m. Maybe even earlier. Not going to be super nice. Let's look at our temperature anomalies at that time too. Pretty darn warm too. Moisture is going to bring down the heat a little bit, but no, pretty warm, pretty gross, yeah. Yeah. Weather HQ, Julie, I appreciate you. Yeah, we can check Cape. We can check Cape values. I want to go take a look at this high pressure he's talking about. All right, let's. Wow, look at that. Let's take a look at this. 4,600 joules per kilogram. 4,700 joules per kilogram of surface cape. Not capped. Not terrible. Not terrible. Low level. Directional shear. 3.0 effective layer. Sigtor param. 3.0 fixed layer Sigtor param. There's not a ton of velocity shear down here, so But there's 0 inhibition, which is good. I have, let me take a sounding at a different time frame. Tor. Look at this out here. Look at that. 5,400 joules per kilogram. I mean, this is hailing semi trucks. If that's true. Marginal torque risk. Again, though, your surface velocity shear values are low. I think this isn't going to be a big tornado risk, but this is like, yeah. I mean, you could get some decent hail and wind with this. Moderate hatch tail. Yeah, semi trucks. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. It was the first thing I could think of that was big. I think one time I said cows, and then it went to cars, and now it's semi trucks. Philly weather Monday, will it be hot and sunny? I don't think it's gonna be very nice, but let me double check. All right. Yeah, we've got some moisture running up the coast. The timing of this is going to be interesting. Looks to not really make it into the Philly region until Tuesday morning. So and we do have a high pressure up there as we wake up on Monday. So it actually might be pretty nice. Yeah, here's our high. So rotating like this. So yeah, I think it might be a pretty nice day actually. So I think this originally was moving a little bit quicker. Now it's not. So yeah, Mezzo Matt. I need to find my little hands, Matt. My son started playing with them, and I don't know where they are now. Little jackass. Oh, did I say that? Sorry, I meant to mute my mic. Okay, yeah. So let me take a little look at something here. Let's go to the 12Z Euro. I want to zoom out actually. I'll look at this from a wider standpoint. Yeah, 1 second, guys. Okay. We got this little bowling ball trough moving on out. And here comes our first one digging down in there. This is going to be Wednesday into Thursday. Really not like a messy kind of setup. The low level winds aren't doing anything for me either. But I mean, that's not looking too bad up there towards Hoosier Alley on Thursday. Up there, Kentucky, yeah. Maybe Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana. I don't know. That this isn't looking too bad. That's not looking too bad with the low-level jet there. Whoa, Map with the Galaxy. Matt, I love you. I love you. You're the best. Thank you, Matt. And this is interesting what happens here. Yeah, this is very interesting what happens next Monday into Tuesday with our low-level jet here. Let's go back to our 500 millibar. Tons of divergence. Look at this thing just blow up here. So, I don't know. What would this be? What day risk would this be? We're still out. This is like a day 9. This could be something very impressive. That's the first time I've actually seen that. And then look at this. Look at the way it ejects off out to the east. That is definitely a mesomat storm. That is definitely a mesomat outbreak right there. Although, there's some other things we need to take into account. I don't really trust the Euro on instability out this far, but I kind of want to see. We can go back in. I kind of want to see what's happening along that time frame next Monday, Tuesday. Oh, yeah. This was actually pretty good timing with that low-level jet. Spicy stuff. Look at that. Pretty decent. 90-degree kind of rotation from your 1,000 millibar up to your 700. Not too bad. This is way far out though, so B, what's going on? I appreciate you. Let's look at our dew points too. I remember we were looking at our dew points the other day, and it was looking crazy for this. Oh yeah, there it is. Well, this is Thursday and a Friday. Super high dew points. You're easily in the 70s, maybe approaching mid 70s up there in Kentucky. I want to see what happens next Monday, Tuesday, though. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, you've got good low-level winds, good mid-level winds. You've got good instability. You've got good good dew points. I mean, you could easily reach 75, 76 dew points up here on a daily list. I've noticed a lot of times these models underplay dew points by 3 to 4. So, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good setup. And actually, this to me right here, what is this? Next Wednesday? This is pretty far out, guys. This is pretty far out, but sometimes that they do a decent job. This is pretty far out there. I wouldn't take this at face value, but the angle of this is kind of impressive. Let me look at that next Wednesday as well. I'm just yeah, look at that. There it is. That would be this could be something. We have to watch how this plays out. Hey, listen. I know this is far out, but when you get setups like this, you look at them far out because this would be an extremely damaging event if it held this type of look. But, the odds that it holds that exact look are pretty low. Whoa. Look at that. Look at that explosion of freaking Cape over here in North Carolina. What are we looking at? Oh my gosh. What is this? Almost 7,000 joules per kilogram. Okay. What are we doing? Yeah, this would be Boeing Airbuses falling from the sky. Forget semi-trucks. What do you think, Matt? Yeehaw, ride 'em, cowboy. Sorry, Jess. I was probably late on that. This is like a joke. There's absolutely like no rotation here though. These are just westerly winds. But that's an impressive amount of Cape for the Carolinas. 6,600 joules per kilogram. That's hilarious. I think those updrafts might be strong enough to pick me up and take me up into the clouds. I don't know if I'd want to be outside with that much surface Cape. Yeah, you're gonna have people falling from the sky. That's crazy. I mean, this is actually not crazy to see in like Texas. It's a little weird to see out there though. You get that look all the time out there in Texas. Can you check sounding for Chicago on Thursday? Let's take a look. I don't know if I'll be able to get a good one here, but we can try. We can see here. I don't know exactly what timing our event's going to be at. You got a marginal tour here, but not crazy helicity or shear, velocity, rotational shears, like whatever. Tons of inhibition, capping. So that's good for Chicago. Let's pull this back a little bit though, and see what's happening here. Yeah, maybe this is an earlier afternoon event. Let's see if we take it out here. The timing still looks a little bit off for this weather this week. For this setup this week. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do I think this day 6 risk will extend to northern Ohio? Here, actually, let me pull this up on another one right here. Let's take a look. Wait, did they... What? No. Am I going crazy? Chad, am I going crazy? Chameleon NTX, I appreciate you. Am I going crazy, chat? What's going on? No, I know there was a day 6. We were just looking at it in the beginning of my stream. Hello? It was just there. 15 minutes ago. Not even. What the heck? What? It's still there. It's still there. I think it's pivotal weather. There it is, guys. It's pivotal weather. No, I did refresh the screen. It's pivotal weather. It's there. It's pivotal weather. Oh my god. Okay. Well, let's just pull it up on here. Can I get to just day 6, please? Yes. Thank you. All right. Here we are. Chat. Here we are. Yeah, pivotal weather's tripping. Someone who was talking crap about pivotal weather the other night. You in my stream? I backed up pivotal weather, and then they go and do that, make me look stupid. Yeah. So here we go. We got Western Michigan, Central to Southern Wisconsin, Southeastern, well, far Southeastern Minnesota, Eastern Iowa, Eastern Missouri, pretty much all of Illinois, and then Central to Western Indiana. It's hard to see the states with all these counties. Could that expand? Yeah, I'm always beefing with some sort of weather app. Let's take a look if that thing could actually expand. Oh, that's a pretty good question. Let's take a look at kind of the latest. We're not within range of our NAM yet, but we do have. Wait, the Rufus goes crazy far out now, doesn't it? 84. Oh, the new 00Z is loading though. Let's look at our Rufus real quick. Look at our Rufus getting out almost to Wednesday. Not far enough though. 00Z NAM. All right, we're gonna have to look at our Euro. Here we go. Let's take a look. Let's just do. I want to look at these. I want to look at this right here. Well, our day 6. What is today? Today's Saturday. I keep thinking today's Sunday. Oh my gosh. So our day 6 is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sorry, guys. Duh. Okay. Listen, I might have had a few cocktails at the mall. All right, Yard House. Here we go. So getting into Friday. Here's our lower level, or here's our lower level winds. Here's our 850 millibar. Tomorrow's Mother's Day? Oh shoot. I'm just kidding, I know. Here is Friday. Yeah, right now well, yeah, you can see where you've got your kind of jet streak down here. You've got a lot of divergence happening in this is the region they have circled, right? Which makes sense. Look at this. Look at our jet stream velocities are there. You've got, here, the easier way to see divergence is with this upper aerodynamics, 500 millibar height and vorticity. Now we'll see it. Actually, this is not doing a good job of it, but it should be. It's not doing a very good job of it. It's all down here to the south. You got a lot of energy up here to the north, but it's not showing a big band of divergence up here to the north. Oh, that's our 12Z. Let me go back to the 18. The 18Z isn't gonna... There it is. There's the 18Z. I don't know, man. I don't know about this day 6 setup, guys. I don't know. I don't know about this day 6 setup now. Questioning everything. This is a very directionally strange. We're not seeing this southerly flow. You are, I guess, on the 850, but a little bit more. But I don't know, guys. Right? If you were to ask me, I'd say this is going to be a downtrend. Let's look at let's take a look at this out here. Yeah, this is all capped right here. This is all capped. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at this. This is Thursday right here. I know. I said Friday, and I was looking at Thursday. Let me go back to our upper aerodynamics here. Let's look at the 850. I don't know, guys. There's kind of your action in there. Let's look at our 500 again. It's all right. I don't know. I don't know. Usually when they put a day 6 slight, I see something a little more impressive. But I'm supposed to fly across the country on Thursday, and I have terrible flight anxiety. Well, listen, if they're flying, you know, usually if you're flying, they're not going to fly through a storm like this. Storms are in the troposphere, and planes that are flying, you know, more than just a state typically go up into the stratosphere, and they fly over these storms where there's no weather. Is it going to hail in Minnesota cities? I don't think there's hail in the immediate forecast for Minnesota. Do I think the Beyonce concert could be canceled? Is it outdoors? Then yes. We'll have to see. I mean, this could be a bad... I don't see any sort of outbreak or this thing. Maybe we get an enhanced... I don't even know if we... Right now, this isn't... It's a messy setup to me, guys. It's a messy setup to me on Thursday. You know, I'll hype up a nice, good setup. I mean, this is just a messy setup. This doesn't look terrible, though. This doesn't look terrible right here. I'm not gonna lie. This doesn't look terrible right here on the 500, on the 850 millibar. This is actually an okay look. You've got decent velocities and tons of divergence in here. So let's take another sounding. It's super capped. Super capped. So, inhibition. We've got, you know, the problem is we're going to have some warm air aloft here. And that will keep your storms from forming if that holds. Let's look at our temps here. Let's look at our, actually, let's do this. Let's look at our 500 millibar temperature, height, and wind. Let's go to... you'd want a little bit of cooler air up here. Henry, I appreciate that. Henry, appreciate that, dude. Lewis, I appreciate you. No, capping is a good thing. Yeah, I mean that this would be right now. I'm not sold on the day. I mean, I think there's 100% a severe weather threat with that day 6. Yes, typically when you get like a day 6, 7, 8 risk, you look up what, you know. Okay, well, what's our setup? Usually it looks pretty impressive. It looks average. I mean, I'd say slightly above average. It looks slightly above average. It looks slightly above average with this. With the 850 millibars kind of selling me on this. You've got shear. The capping is going to be an issue. Let me look at the dew points one more time. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of caught up on this because I expected a little bit of a different look. Dew points are all right. Just a messy setup. But it's a severe weather setup for sure. I feel like the SBC has been a little more ready to issue day 4, 5, 6 risks. Well, before we even got to the halfway point of this severe weather season, we had already had a record number of tornado and severe warned storms, and we weren't even halfway. So I can't blame them. We started off crazy. So I think they're like, oh crap, maybe we should issue a little quicker, and maybe they're jumping the gun, right? Two tornadoes in just a month of it. Yeah. It was a crazy start to the season, so I think they got a little bit. Northern Ohio Friday. You could see that severe threats shift off into Ohio on Friday. Yeah, we'll have to watch that. Tomorrow's going to be interesting to see what they do because there is a day 6 risk here, but it's probably going to move to a day 5, and we'll probably get a day 6 tomorrow. That's farther out east. That's going to include... Yeah. I mean, here we can take a look at what I think it'll do. Let me look at the GFS for this one more time. So for Friday, so we know where our Thursday event is. This is the GFS. GFS looks okay. Look at that. GFS has, I think, a little bit bigger of a slight zone. So that's Thursday, and then we get into Friday. Yeah, I mean, there's some potential a little bit farther out east. This would probably not be as big of a threat, but. And then look at that. That's pretty impressive right there. Monday, Tuesday, boom. Look at that. Wednesday. See, that looks to be the beast right now. Originally, I think the end of this weekend was looking pretty impressive. It's I'm looking almost past this week towards the week after. I'm not though. I mean, I'm gonna pay attention this week because these things can change quickly. There's going to be severe weather late this week and into the weekend. I'm just not sold on how severe quite yet. Things can change drastically though. I could look at the model updates tomorrow and be like, oh crap, we're gonna have a tornado outbreak. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but you know, you got to pay attention. Thanks to the 8 new people who follow me. I appreciate you guys. Please tell me Nebraska will continue their weather break. Well, let me just look at the future radar for that. Let's take a look at this. Good old Nebraska. Look at you guys staying nice and dry for a while. And then boom. Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Could be a little bit of a severe threat there. And then we'll have to watch what happens here Friday night into Saturday morning if those storms initiate out to your east or not. This is another potential severe threat Saturday. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, you guys got starting Wednesday night into Thursday, you guys may have a couple days of some bad weather, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like things start to go downhill for you guys Wednesday evening. Then you could see some action over the next few days, maybe even week. And we could probably see our instability moving through that region, pulsing through there at that time frame. Let's see. Go Tuesday, and then here we go. Wednesday. Stays a little bit to the south. There's your Saturday, Sunday. Got instability moving in and out of the region. You're probably going to have some dry lines up there too. Well, I don't know, because directionally our troughs aren't going to set up the most impressive looking dry lines. Let me look at this on the Euro. May is typically when we see the most severe weather, but no impressive dry lines here. No impressive dry lines set up here. Maybe a little bit right there over Kansas. Over Kansas Wednesday night into Thursday morning. That'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Let me look at this dry line on the 12Z. Kansas, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, the Euro has a nice dry line Wednesday night over eastern Nebraska, potentially. Look at that. Okay, we'll probably have to watch eastern Nebraska Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll have to see. That could be like an isolated severe weather event there. And then look at that. Going into next week, this could be something interesting. Triple point in Nebraska there. Yeah, it's going to get a little messy. Enjoy the next couple days. We'll have to watch it. Once we move out of May, though, severe weather season slowly starts to trend down. I shouldn't have asked. Nothing looks like crazy like some of the stuff we saw in April, but it's definitely caught my eye a little bit. NTX, I appreciate you. Is Saturday for Upper Florida going to be nasty? It's little man's birthday. Let's see. Let's see here. How was Florida today? That was my cousin's birthday down there. I hope it wasn't too bad. Oof, I think it was. Okay, so next Saturday. Well, this could definitely change because it's a little bit far out. But next Saturday, it looks like you guys are looking pretty good down there in Florida. Yeah. Yeah, let's look. It looks like you might have a little bit of a high sitting over Florida. Yeah, I mean this is Saturday. We've got clockwise rotating winds. This is a little bit of a high pressure sitting over Florida here. So northern Florida could get maybe messy Saturday, but Orlando South right now things could change. But A lot of this bad weather looks to stay to the north of Florida. On Saturday, at least. So, that's good for now. Good news for now. Let's see. Oh, why did I change that? Okay. Oh, wait 1 second, guys. OKC, I got you 1 second. Okay. OKC. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an interesting day for you Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll have to watch the Great Plains a little bit. But this is when things get super spicy around OKC here. This is early next week, Monday, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday, man. That's going to be interesting for Oklahoma next week. Not this Monday, Tuesday, the one after. It's far enough away where we're going to see models change. Georgia's not looking too bad. A lot of the severe threats staying to the north, but interesting little look up here in northern Georgia, potentially Friday night into Saturday morning. And then a lot of this stays to the north of Georgia there as well. We can look at our quantitative precipitation going a little bit far out, see where a lot of our moisture is going to be landing. Typically where there's severe weather, you're going to have a lot of moisture, because a lot of rainfall, because strong updrafts, which cause severe weather, also cause strong downdrafts. Downdrafts bring the rain, soak the ground. Now this is all happening down in the south right there, but we've had severe weather down here. This is what that's showing. Then as we move forward, you can see where the band of rain starts to form. We still have a little bit of marginal and severe weather down there in the south. We're going to see a lot of the severe weather through this region. There we go. Yeah, you can see it right up through here. That's going to be what we're watching over the weekend into next week. One second. I need to take a sip of this water. 1 second, chat. 1 second, chat. Why am I so low? I'm sitting so low in my chair. All right, 1 second, chat. I need to check on something. Because I'm tiny? Nah, I'm huge. I'm 6'8". I'm going to put that in my bio. 6'8" weatherman. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm 6'8", Morgan. Thank you. Correct. Correct. What if I asked ChatGPT, am I 6'8", what it would say? Let me see. Am I 6'8"? I can't tell your height unless you tell me. Okay, 1 second. I'm 6'8". Okay, let's see. Okay, no. Okay, 1 second. Oh, okay. All right, well, let me show you something, guys. ChatGPT just said I'm 6'8". It said, he said, well, don't. No, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. This is basically confirming. This is basically confirming I'm 6'8". Anyways. You don't need to really read into it. Basically what it says was I'm 6'8", so that's pretty good. ChatGPT is pretty smart. So. Oh, crap. I never dropped the Radar Omega video. I was supposed to make my Radar Omega tutorial. Well, I don't know. I should just go over my settings and everything. I should make that a sub-only video. Because I like just doing all my forecasts as my normal videos, so I don't want to put that on my page. But no, I should. I said I was gonna do it. I completely forgot until you just said that. Crap. I need to write stuff down, huh? Let's see. What's going on, Lee? Would you trust weather forecast for next Saturday showing rain for an event? For this upcoming Saturday, I would take a grain of salt with it. That's all. Like the Euro doesn't do terrible out 5 days with sort of where the rainfall is going to be. Seven's a little bit pushing it, but sometimes it'll be close. Yeah, I'm 6'8". My wife's like 6'5". So if you've ever seen us stand next to each other, that's why she's really tall too. Yeah. Oh, hate when that happens. All right. Strap, what's going on? Nah, you can't dunk on me, dude. Nah. Anyways, yeah, so we'll see. I want to show you guys what's going on with CSU. CSU will get a little more aggressive with its severe weather predictions. And I like it. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. That's my favorite cheer. Oh, come on. Now CSU isn't working. I hate when it does this. Okay, here we go. Here we go, chat. Here's our day 1. Oh, no. Day 2. Is CSU working? Okay, we got CSU working here. Okay, good. So, here's CSU. Got our day 4. This is going to be Tuesday. Okay. It's going to be our Wednesday. Okay, a little something up there. Dakota's into Nebraska, as we spoke about. And then as we get into our Thursday, let's open this up from CSU. Why does this feel like an old version? What's going on, Amanda? Amanda, did it rain? Did it rain? Because I feel like it did. Yeah. Well, Amanda, my forecast was correct. It wasn't very hard, though, to tell it was going to rain. Yeah, CSU's got this thing going on here, guys. And I did say, remember, we looked at the GFS, and the GFS actually did have a little bit more of a divergence and some decent shear down near the south. So I'll agree with, even the Euro had this dipping a little bit farther down. So I'll agree with CSU. You know, the SPC's doing something like this with our slight. I think it's going to come down farther south. I think it's not going to go as far north. Wait, if I think, okay, let's look. Let's look one more time on this. Euro. Oh, it didn't rain at the party? Oh, let's go. Nice. Let's look at the 850 again. Here we go. I like just trying to tell where sphere was going to be just by using the 850 millibar. Yeah, if this Euro's correct, I don't like the 18Z. Let's do the 12Z. It's better data. Yeah, I think that's like a better circle than the SBC. I think it's a better circle. I think it's going to be wider. Farther south, farther north. Well, the 500 millibar is good to use, but the 500 millibar is just going to give you a wide swath, right? Like, here's our 500 millibar for the event. You're not going to be, like, if you just look at this, you're like, oh, okay, everyone's getting severe weather. You got to have a good mid-level, and if you have once you know where your mid-level is, okay, where's your good low-level shear associated around that mid-level? Well, it's not in divergence. It's not down here. This is not much. You see the divergence and the good mid-level up here. So that's where it is. So you can use a 500 millibar to get a bit, bigger, view of what's happening. But then, once you want to get down to like a kind of smaller risk zone, it's good to use 850 millibar. You want to see where those 850 millibars are winds right above your head. That's where this is what's also going to cause that rotation that can be tilted up by strong updrafts and cause tornadoes. So 500 millibar winds aren't going to be associated with your strong updrafts or rotation near the surface. So it doesn't really matter. Radar Omega is a great app for your phone. I don't really use any weather apps on my phone. I know people like AccuWeather a lot, but yeah, I don't really use many. Yeah, Morgan, that's a good question. Well, I'm biased because CSU is more aggressive with their calls, and to me, well, it feels like I'll see something with CSU and be like, I agree with that, and then SPC will do the exact thing CSU said, but 12 to 24 hours later. So yeah, I like CSU because CSU is going to get it right more and get it wrong more because they're just going to post. They're constantly putting risk zones up quicker and jumping on top of things quicker. SPC likes to be very, very careful about when they post their risk zones and where they post them. They're like, SPC is walking on eggshells because they don't want to be wrong. CSU is just like, this looks sketchy. We're posting a risk zone. And I kind of like that. Like, whatever. You can change the risk zone each update. But, like, there's sometimes where I see stuff and I'm like if I see this, right? Like, this better be, like, I would put this, CSU 100%, this is going to be a day 8 risk zone on CSU. 100%. This is going to be a day 8. Monday, they're going to put this as a day 8. Guarantee you. Right there. It's going to be massive. SBC probably won't. SBC will wait till day 6. Wednesday, day 6. CSU, day 8. Calling it right now. So I like CSU. Yeah, Madison. What's the date range? Well, they'll call up to a day 8, so... Well, technically, day 1 is today. So, like, right now, so, like, day 1 is today, Saturday. So, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Saturday's your day 8 again. So, actually, they would call it Tuesday. I got that one off. I keep thinking I keep looking ahead to day 2. So, CSU would call it. See what CSU would call it. Well, no. This is a Monday evening type of event. So no, I stick with what I said. They're Monday, day 8. That's where it's gonna be. So, right here, mark my words. On Monday, CSU's gonna big slight. Maybe even a day 8 enhanced. Who knows? With that type of look, we'll see if it holds on. I'm always getting confused because I talk too quick and then I have to think. And my wife always tells me to think before I speak, but I don't know how to do that. I'm just scatterbrained. You know what I mean? It's a good time. The monkey's always smashing the tambourine in my brain. What's going on, gaming? What is popping? How's Northwest Illinois looking for this event? Northwest Illinois needs to really pay attention to Thursday. Tomorrow will be important. We'll see if we get an uptrend or a downtrend. It's a really weird setup, but Northwest Illinois is in a decently sketchy severe weather region for Thursday, I would say. How's Kentucky looking for all this? Well, yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Let's get a little sounding out there. Kentucky. Here's Kentucky Thursday. You guys got tons of Cape. I don't see a huge tornado risk here because, well, actually, yeah, your rotational shear is non-existent. Capping potential, you have inhibition. You might not even get the thunderstorms forming with that, but there's actually a decent amount of helicity, which is shear, surface shear, and helicity. So shear is you have storm relative helicity, and then you can have rotational shear, or and then you can have vorticity. So vorticity is obviously spin. Helicity is how intense the spin is. So it's weird separating helicity from vorticity because people associate helicity with rotation and vorticity with rotation. But vorticity is the rotation and helicity is the scale of the the intensity of the rotation. So when you have a higher SRH, storm relative helicity, that rotation, that vorticity is extremely amplified. You can have high vorticity and low helicity. Yes, you can have high vorticity but low helicity, meaning there's a lot of spin, but it's not a super strong spin. You know what I'm saying? Everything's rotating very slow. Yeah. Someone fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure I said it correctly. But they both have to do with rotation. Helicity, like if you have a high SRH, storm relative helicity, you could have very intense rotating cells. So, and you can look at, we can look at the vorticity map. That's why I pull this up sometimes. This pink here, you see that rotating low up there? That's the spin. You see this? This is vorticity. You see where it is surrounding this low pressure? Got a lot of rotation. But how intense is that rotation? That's the helicity. There's tons of rotation here. That's all the pinks and reds. But what's the rotation like, and what's the intensity of the rotation along the line in a localized setting? You know what I'm saying, guys? You picking up what I'm putting down, guys? I'm trying. You understand? You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You guys know that movie reference, right? Pam, what's going on? Oh, we got Pam and Pammy in here. I'm going off on a tangent, guys. Pam said no. Rush Hour, good. Yes. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. Love it. Okada? So, yeah. How's Central Georgia looking next week? I hate to ask. Oh, no, yeah, next week's pretty far ahead. We could take a little. We can look in La La Land if you want, but it might not be correct. So sometimes it gets pretty close. On a bigger scale, it'll our models, our global models will understand what's going on. Not on a local scale though. So yeah, it looks active next week in the southeast. I can tell you that just by looking at our future radar. So look at that. I mean, if this happens, that's a massive severe weather outbreak in the southeast. But we don't know. That would have been Saturday. We don't know. It's all a little bit too far out. It's all a little bit too far out. A couple good storms moving through the south though. Should Chicago expect storms this coming week? Yeah, we're watching Chicago for Thursday. Chicago could get a little tad bit spicy on Thursday for sure. The spicy index has been moving up. Tor possible hazard 2.0. Sig Tor effective layer. Good cape. There's really no directional. Well, there's actually decent directional shear from the surface to the mid layer. Our photograph isn't terrible. That's actually not a bad sounding out of Chicago there. For Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Actually, no, that'd be at 7 p.m. Not a bad sounding. So yeah, we got to watch that. This one isn't a bad sounding either. Typically, we get a little bit worse weather when you have a southwesterly flow down here. Your dew point's really riding up the temperature too. I think capping's an issue here though. There's inhibition, so What's going on here? Okay, good. Wisconsin? What about it? Wisconsin's got that Thursday threat too. Most of the state's going to have to watch out Thursday. You know, Wisconsin's going to get into our short range model tomorrow evening. Well, tomorrow evening we'll have like the beginning of the day and on Thursday with like our Rufus and Nam. Yeah, because what's our NAM? Or NAM 00Z is done. What are we going up to on our NAM right now? Yeah, so we're getting into Wednesday morning on our NAM right now. So probably want to wait till Monday, and we'll have our at least the Rufus and Nam will give us a decent look at what our threat could be out here on Thursday, and then I do think we'll get a little bit of a threat moving out to the east here. Well, the sounding, Rachel, for Chicago looked like severe weather potential. Actually, there's some decent severe weather potential, maybe even tornado potential. But you know, taking a sounding on a global model out 6 days, it's not going to be that accurate. But even it just showing a sounding like that means you want to pay attention, because it shows some good updraft potential, some good rotation. So just the parameters look like we could have some bad weather in Chicago on Thursday, but you know, global models aren't supposed to be that great on picking that up. We're kind of waiting for to get into our short range models. Yeah, exactly. 3 more days out is still uncertain. It just puts it on my radar. Like, okay, well, that's it. Decent severe weather sounding in Chicago, so maybe we will get some action there on Thursday, but we're not really going to know for a few days, for sure. Yeah, MK, yeah. Helicity would be speed on the spin. Yeah, Helicity is. Someone put it in the. Oh my God, someone put it perfectly, and I can't remember because it's a weird thing to describe. They're different measurements, and I should know this off the top of my head. 1 second. This is important stuff. Okay. Okay, so this is the best way to put it. It's weird because they both explain rotation in different ways. So helicity is a scalar quantity that measures the correlation between the velocity and vorticity fields. Basically the twisting and nodding and turning, the intensity of the vorticity. So if you were to take the definition of velocity, a vector field that describes the local rotation or of a fluid particle. It is essentially the curl of the velocity field. Did that help anyone? I understand how helicity and vorticity work in my head, but they're really confusing to explain. So this is a good way to put it, actually. Velocity, spinning or rotational motion at one point. That's velocity. Helicity, degree. So the degree of the corkscrew-like flow and intensity of it. You can have high vorticity, low helicity. You're really not going to have high helicity, high vorticity, low helicity. You're not going to have high helicity, low vorticity. You know, guys, I'm going to figure out I'm going to figure out a better way to describe this to you later on. I should do that off stream. So, okay, vorticity is local rotation a rotation along a bigger boundary. The helicity is the intensity of it, and the intensity and kind of imagine like the corkscrewing and mixing and mashing of that rotation, how intense it is, and that's the helicity is what causes the helicity is what we'll put down a Sigtor. Because guys, most thunderstorms have vorticity. There's vorticity associated with vorticity is almost always present. The helicity, intense helicity, isn't always present. I need to move on from this, guys. No one's asking me to talk about this, but wait, what the? Oh, the baby's crying. Look, even she's like, shut up, move on. Yeah, Pam, that is awesome. Pam's daughter graduated from nursing school. That is awesome. That's so cool. That is awesome. You know what I'm going to do? Yeah, Pam's daughter. All right. Let's go. Yeah, MK. So force like torque. Thank you, MK. That's a good way to put it. Exactly. Yes. Force. Yes. Force. Yes, like torque. That's actually, that's torque is a really good way to put it. Oh, wait. EF is EF only EF measures by the damage it does. I made a twister filming locations for the book. Has fun facts and such. That's pretty cool. We need some more rain here in southern coast, South Carolina. I think you guys are gonna get some rain. We were actually looking at the quantitative precipitation earlier. Yeah, we got a lot of rain. A lot more rain ahead for you guys down there in the Carolinas. Southeast. Look at that. Look at the southeast over the next 72 hours. 84 hours, I guess. You got the Tom too. You've been playing too much. That's cool. Yeah, MK said congrats to Pam. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it is tough. Yeah, congrats to Pam's daughter. We need some of that rain without the hail and the wind. Yeah. What's our drought monitor looking like actually right now? Ooh. Nebraska is in a decent drought. Yeah, South Carolina does need this rain. You guys are about to get a lot of it. But look at Florida. Florida's been rough. I don't really care, guys, that Southwest is in a drought. I don't. Why we decided to build major cities in the desert? Anyone's guess. I know it's a drought for the desert, so it's it's supposed to be dry and it's extra dry, I guess. But come on, guys. Come on. Imagine building cities in a desert and then complaining there's no water. You know what I mean? Who are we? Who are we to build cities in a desert and then complain there's not enough water? That's like building cities in the ocean and complaining they're too wet. So dumb. Who was walking through the desert and was looked around in Vegas and was like, yeah, this is the spot. As it's 115 degrees and they can see the earth evaporating beneath their feet. I just don't know. Maybe they were all on lots of psychedelics. Thinking about camels. Or they just got tired. They were like, we think there's another ocean over there. And they just kept walking. right? They're just like, we think there's another ocean over there. And they kept walking and walking and walking. Like, God, there's no ocean. We'll stop here. We'll stop here. And they were so close. They were so close. That's how those settlements started. Can Long Island and New York City see severe weather? It's a good question. Will any of this make it out that far? There's potential here. There's definitely potential. Let's go to our Euro 12Z. Let's see. Although, you know, it's still very desert-like in California. West of the mountains, because the water's cold, so you don't get a ton of evaporation. But it all dumps up in the mountains. You get clouds. You get those natural updrafts as the breeze coming off the ocean hits the mountains and is forced up, and that gives you natural condensation, and it dumps in the mountains, and that water flows right back down to the coast. So it works out for them just fine. Yeah, so Long Island, I mean, look, there's this interesting little interesting low-level jet here on Tuesday. I wonder what's going on there on Tuesday out here. Actually, let me look at the NAM for that. NAM 3K. What's going on out here on Tuesday? Yeah, we're gonna get some thunder. We're gonna get some thunderstorms. Let me go to Rufus. Yeah, we could get some interesting. This isn't going to be severe likely, but we get some Tuesday evening. We could get some nice thunderstorms up there in and around Long Island. Not severe, but not severe. Let me go back to the Euro 1 second. I'm in my thoughts. And back to the 12Z. I mean, yeah, this is the best look. I mean, if this happens, this is so far out. This is next Wednesday. If this happens, we could get easily an enhanced up and down the coast here. So let's see if we've got some good instability associated with that. We have enough. We have enough. Well, if you want severe weather, that's your hope next week. Not this week. The following Wednesday. Jill, what's going on? Thank you, Jill. Amanda was just in here. I heard it didn't rain at the birthday party. But it did rain, just not at the birthday party. What's happening, new storm? No, we're just looking at what's ahead. We're just looking at what's ahead. I want to take another sounding up here around Chicago for this Thursday event. Our local man don't cover long range. Now this is an interesting sounding for Chicago as well. Although again, I don't think there's any tornado risk associated with this sounding. So, yeehaw, ride 'em, cowboy. Nor did I get it. I'm pretty sure I got that one. Not even close. What? Yeah, Arkansas. Let's take a look here. Arkansas. Well, this is a sketchy setup for you guys right here. Let's take a look here. This is a hail wind day. This Thursday. Man, you know, the SPC really has this thread up here. This thing is going to get pulled south. This thing is going to get pulled south, at least to include northeastern Arkansas, it looks like right now. Did they fix their, let's see, did they fix their day 6, or is it still not showing? No. Okay, well, going back to SPC's day 6. Going back to SPC's day 6. Yeah, right now, I think CSU's right. Right now, I think this thing's coming a little bit farther down into Arkansas and a little bit farther out. Ooh. Thank you, Pam. I forget everything stays on the internet. I gotta stop acting weird. Thank you, Pam. That was awesome. My kids are gonna watch this one day. The VOD save on YouTube. Sarah, I appreciate you too. Heart Rain, Sarah, that was awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, guys. Bro, I just got yours. Trisha, it hasn't been weird the whole time. Hasn't been weird the whole time. Just most of the time. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just got weird. Literally just happened. Bro, I just got here. Wait, is today Saturday? I completely forgot today was Saturday, chat. Give me 1 second. Let me chug this water. Do you want to hear me chug it? I'm just kidding. That's weird. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Yeah. ASMR chug water. Okay. No, I know. I know tomorrow's Mother's Day. I know. Whoa, Nora. Shell Energy. Hey. I feel like... Wait, Nora, did you... Wow, my voice cracked. Yeehaw! Ride him, cowboy. Thank you, Ollie. Wait. I feel like... Did I miss... You guys are... Wow, you guys are awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the rose, Maddie. Whoa. Did we just get severe weather? I don't see... guys, I'm on Radar Omega, and I don't see where the heck that is. No, there was nothing. I don't know why my screen just yelled at me. Piedmont. North Dakota. Guys. Let me show you our instability in North Dakota. Next week. Not this week. Oh, is this not going to show... Is this not going to give it to me? Oh, it's not pushing up into North Dakota. Only into South Dakota. But this is next Monday. Big time. Big time. 5,000 surface cape. Supercell composite 24. This is big time. This is big time. All right, nobody listen. No, everyone cover your ears. Cover your ears. Cover your ears. Cover your ears. All right. Be quiet. Okay. Anyways. South Dakota getting a... Is South Dakota getting a tornado? Well, this is 234 hours out, so we don't know yet. South Dakota does have a good amount of instability though this week. We've got a little bit of an interesting Wednesday, Thursday action going on. Wednesday would probably be your Carolyn. Yeah, we'll have to watch Wednesday. Let's look at is our 000 Rufus is loading. Actually, that's what we need to look at. Let's see if we can get into Wednesday on this one. Yeah, just Wednesday morning. I really want to see what's happening with our reflectivity here. Let's just go back into our Euro. We don't have anything. I guess this would only be to Tuesday, so they're not going to place a day 4 yet. I think we'll have a day 3 tomorrow across portions of Tornado Alley, including South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma. Maybe we'll see. I think we'll have something there. If not only a marginal, but let's take a look at this. So Wednesday, we get a little bit of a, we get a little something here as we get into the late afternoon, evening hours. A little bit of divergence. Our lower level shear picks up. And what is happening at 100 and, let's see here, 105 hours out with our dew points here as well. Let's see, 105 hours out. I'm just trying to see if we have any dry line here as well. There is. I mean, yeah, like, so got some shear picking up. Oklahoma could get involved here. Kansas, Nebraska. We could see something along this boundary. Instability is going to be there. Let's look at instability too here. Yeah, plenty. Plenty. Kansas is worrying me a little bit on Wednesday. Ooh, super capped. That's good. Well, at least there. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, I mean, right now the atmosphere is looking stable. There's instability, but there's probably going to be a pocket of warm air sitting above it. So let's see. I don't trust the euro. I don't trust the instability on a global model, though. I want to see it on the short range model. We'll be able to see this tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow we'll be able to see what's going to happen on Wednesday, and then on Monday we'll be able to see what's going to happen pretty good on Thursday. And of course, our Thursday event looks to be much more significant than our Wednesday event. But our Wednesday event, we could get a big tornado out here in Tornado Alley. So I want the short ranges. Ooh, B with 9 spices. The 9 spices. Yali, I appreciate it. Yali with the rose. Nashville, Tennessee. Thursday going into Friday, we could see a threat out there moving through moving to Tennessee region. Not 100% on it yet. Yeah, Mother's Day where I am is in 27 minutes. What do you think? Kansas City could get severe weather? Just joined. What's going on? Yeah, it could be this Wednesday. Could be this Wednesday. I know we don't have anything from the SBC. Well, you know what? Let's go to CSU. CSU, can you please just agree with me, please? Here it is. Here's CSU. Now, CSU actually has this stuff north of Kansas. I don't understand what's going on here. North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska. Is this old data? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. Come on. This goes down all the time. It's so frustrating. Let's try this. Yeah, okay, I need to wait until CSU gets its act together, guys. But yeah, Wednesday is going to be interesting for that region. Right now, this week isn't looking too crazy. Thursday could be very interesting, in especially northeastern Arkansas. But the week after is when it looks kind of like we could have a big severe weather threat for everyone. For Tornado Alley, for what the heck? There we go. For Tornado Alley, for Dixie, Hoosier, Carolina Alley, all of them. Is Houston gonna get some real severe weather soon? Haven't seen anything too interesting down there in Houston. Yeah, not. But I'm sure they will, guys. You guys have to remember this. We're talking about May. May, on average, statistically, is the most. Oh my God! Look at that. You guys see that? That's rare. I don't know if I've ever seen that on a sounding. Have fun with that, Houston. Whoa. No, that was actually Southern Texas, I think, where I took that sounding. Excessive heat. Yeah. Thursday? Wednesday. Let's see. What's our temperature anomaly is going to be down there? Oh, yeah. That makes sense. You guys are baking. 20 to 30 degrees below average or above average potentially across Texas. Oh my lord. Let's look at your heat index. I hope you hung up your winter coats, guys. Look at Texas. Sheesh. 108, 109 down there in southern Texas. What is going on, Texas? It was 48 degrees here yesterday in Philly. You guys are about to be cooking. Yeah, Texarkana in and around 100. Yeah. Out. 109 down here in southern Texas? No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm taking soundings for heat now. So, Shreveport, not seeing anything in the immediate future that I'm too concerned about for Shreveport. But again, things are going to start to get active as we get into the middle of this week, towards the end of this week, towards Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We could see some activity, and then getting into early next week. So here, date-wise, we're talking, yeah, the 19th and on. Here's the thing though. This looks like a crazy severe weather setup, like an April 2nd type setup, but this is in La La Land right now, so we don't know if this is going to confirm or not. Ooh, Sarah, Dragon Crown. Sarah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, guys. Thank you to anyone who's followed the stream, too. Thank you guys for being in here. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. Any hurricane outlook for Florida yet? Yeah, we should take a look. We can take a look at Tropical Tidbits and take a look at the GFS real quick. But yeah, this out, guys, if this holds, this is a crazy. This would be something here. Let me look at the dew points one more time on this too. 234. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'd be something. Here, let's go into Tropical Tidbits really quick and see what's going on in the tropics. Forecast models. Regions. Actually, yeah, let's do it like this. This is better. Move this over for you guys. Okay. Let's see what's going on with the latest GFS. It still has that tropical depression spinning up there in the eastern Pacific. Like, man, no, not really any tropical wave action happening out there over Western Africa. You as we get into hurricane season, you start to get a lot of dust, sand coming off of Africa, and that helps to pull moisture up into the atmosphere. Kind of takes a ride up the escalator of sand, and you can get big tropical waves that form out here because of that, and that's why we have an earlier start. That's why most of our storms earlier in hurricane season actually form out here. There's a lot more working in the what's the word I'm looking for? Tropical moisture is just a lot more abundant out here because of that. It's not in here. It's not having as much help. So as we get later into hurricane season, though, these waters are so warm. We get typically a pretty big explosion just because of the pure heat and evaporation that's happening out here in the Caribbean and in the Gulf. But early hurricane season, we usually actually start off with tropical waves coming off the coast of Africa. Right now, I'm not seeing anything crazy. I do want to just zoom in quickly to to the Western Atlantic and look at something. Yeah, there's this storm. This low, there's a surface low right here that's floating around. I still think it's interesting if this gets its act together if it could be pulled to the north, but there's also a high sitting over the Gulf and over Florida, so it would probably deflect it out west anyways. Well, I mean, or would pull it farther to the west. It would fall apart over the mountains. Central America. Yeah, everyone was talking about that hurricane. That was, I could have easily farmed views on that, guys, and I chose not to. there was a model run, and I was looking at it. There was a model run that was showing like a Cat 3 hurricane approaching Florida, and I saw everyone started making videos about it so that they could get a bunch of views, and I was like, well, this is probably not gonna happen. I thought about it, but yeah, no, it's gone. It's gone. Everyone got their views. Everyone got their views off of fake information. Well, it wasn't fake. It was a model run, but... Ooh, Yali with the 20 spices. Spicy. San Antonio 110. Yeah, it's going to be gross. How's Northwest Georgia looking for Monday, Tuesday? Nora became a 2-month subscriber. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Nora. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, so let me get back here. Alrighty. Let's look at Georgia Monday and Tuesday. I don't think you guys are gonna have a lot of rainfall down here. Severe threats, not crazy, but you guys got a lot of rainfall down there. You've got a marginal in central to southern Georgia tomorrow, and then this is your Monday. You're gonna have a marginal across almost the entire state of Georgia. So thunderstorms are likely. Severe. Let me move this over so you can actually see it. Severe doesn't look too severe to kick off your week, but it does look like a mess. So pull this back up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you look at all this moisture. You've got a low pressure system kind of slowly spinning. This is just yanking in moisture off the Gulf over Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Carolinas, and Tennessee, a little bit of Mississippi, and that's going to continue until, at least Tuesday. Still got a little bit of that on Wednesday, but that's just kind of daytime showers, so a little bit of a messy start to the week down there in Georgia. Here we... That is cool. I have not seen that one. Pam, thank you, Pam. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, guys. Seriously. Thank you, guys. I think I'm going to do another merch giveaway. Okay. Since we only had 12... Pam, I don't know if you even got into that last one. So I think we only had like 12 or 13 reactions. I think I'm going to do it again this week. Maybe this Friday. So that I'll make an announcement, and anyone who reacts to it, I'll just do the spin again and pick someone for free merch. It's fun. We'll do that again this week. But I'll give everyone a better heads up. I'll this upcoming Friday, I'm going to do it. So just know this upcoming Friday, I'm going to give everyone all Friday. And then Saturday, we'll do we'll pick. So I'll give everyone all Friday to react to it. And then, in Saturday morning until we go. How long is next week's heat wave going to last? We can kind of take a look at that. How do you join? Well, it's in my Discord. Connor's Climate Corner HQ. My Discord is so subs get access to my Discord. TikTok subs get access to my Discord. YouTube members get access to my Discord. Or my Discord is I think it's $3.99? $3.99 a month, $3.99 a month. So yeah, it's cool. Weather updates every single day. We're building a community in there, so it's fun. It's a good time, and just trying to get everyone more involved. So I've got kind of big plans for it moving forward. So thank you, B. Thanks for tagging that. Yeah, so you've got this big heat wave up. Look at the northern plains over the next couple days, guys. Northwestern, Midwest. Oh my gosh, North Dakota, you're like 30, 40 degrees above average. And then you've got this kind of ridge settling in over the east. There's Texas starts to get involved, but we've got a little bit of troughing happening out here. This is kind of what's bringing us our bad weather. That you can see this right here. This is causing our instability in this region. This is actually not a bad look at why we're having severe weather up there. Decent temperature gradient moving in. But yeah, let's go to the 12Z and see how long this heat's going to last down in the south. You've got a little bit of a ridge sitting. Man, that could be a while over Texas until you get back to about average temperatures. Yeah, that could be that could be a little bit over a week, where you're sitting 10 to 15 degrees above average every day, honestly. But this heat looks to get going Tuesday. And then you're staying pretty warm. Maybe you cool down a little bit Saturday, Sunday, and then that heat comes right back up. Yeah. You can see this pocket that just wants to kind of suffocate. This always sets up. This always sets up like this, if you guys haven't noticed. It's not uncommon to see this cooler air and then this heat trapped in here. Rain in Minnesota? Let's look at our 5-day precipitation. I'll tell you this. The green and the blues aren't much. It's showing like a 10th to a 20th of an inch of rain in Minneapolis. So, I mean, this isn't much. A little bit in southern, a little bit northern, but the real rain is in these pockets, obviously. This is where it's an inch or more. The yellows, you're getting 2, 3, 4 inches. You know, this type of stuff, this green and blue, like here, this type of stuff is a sprinkle of rain. Yeah, I didn't see that movie, Santi. Still haven't seen it. Yeah. I'm trying to make YouTube my primary stream. It's so hard to get people over there. My YouTube channel is growing. I mean, I've got 3,200 subs over there. I've only had it for 4 months, so that's not bad. I mean, that's like, it takes some people a year. So it's growing. And once it's grown enough, then I'm going to stay over there. The customer service is better. The monetization is better. For what I do, I like YouTube because you get the big horizontal. You can do the horizontal. Just my YouTube setup is better than my TikTok setup. The biggest thing though is I don't have to deal with stupid TikTok. I because I'm monetized on TikTok and I have a certain amount of followers and stuff, I get like tons of spam in my inboxes and all sorts of issues with payments and all sorts of issues. And like, there is no help from TikTok. Like, their customer service is non-existent. It doesn't exist. Anytime I have an issue on YouTube, you literally just talk to a real human being and it's resolved within 5 seconds. And I just can't deal with TikTok anymore. So that's my hope. So if anyone wants to go subscribe to me on YouTube, because that's that once I gotta set a goal over there. I would say probably once I reach like, I'm only at 3,000, but I think I'd have to reach like 50K over there to just move off of TikTok, because like I pay for a lot of software and stuff to stream and to like to run my Discord and for like the investments I've had with my merch store and all this type of stuff. So like I need some sort of monetization. I get a decent amount of monetization on TikTok to pay for stuff. So I can't just like throw it away right now. I need to make sure I'm making a decent enough amount of money on YouTube so that I can stop posting on TikTok. I don't know if I'd ever stop posting. I would just like, you know what I mean? I'd still probably post on TikTok, but I'd be probably just streaming on YouTube. That's probably what I'd do. I'd still post on TikTok. I'd still be on TikTok, but I would just be streaming on YouTube. And like, yeah, I could keep dual streaming, but I don't want to keep doing it. Thank you, Yalia. Dual streaming is a lot of work. Because I'm on both. If you don't know, for anyone on YouTube, I'm on both. Like I'm dual streaming right now. So, Jed, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. There's not much going on right now, which is why we're just looking at what's ahead. But we've got a pretty boring day with our severe weather, or boring night. We did have some action though down earlier today. We did have some action down here, some tornado warned storms. I think we did have some confirmed tornadoes down here. So, but we're gonna be in a little bit of a lull. We do have a little bit of severe weather here over the next couple days. Down here in the southeast, we got a marginals floating around down here. Nothing crazy. And then we'll have a tiny, like I said, a tiny little break. Wednesday we'll see. Thursday looks to be our first interesting event. That could set up kind of a chain of sketchy lower level jet streams or lower level shear moving across the country for about a week to 10 days. So I think, yeah, I'm still watching that. On Monday, I think we're going to get a day 8 from SPC. I think we're going to get a day 8 from SPC Slight. Like I said, this region, I think that looks super impressive to me. And I think that, then I think that thing rotates out here. If the model that we're looking at holds, it's going to be something impressive. What's going on, Claire? Yeah, Texas is crazy. All the severe weather, heat, and then you've got like snowstorms still up in the Panhandle. I guess sometimes actually in Central Texas too. It's more rare. Anything in Dallas coming up? We'll have to see. We'll have to see Wednesday and Thursday. We've got a nice little trough moving into the Great Plains, and it looks like it kind of wants to split. We could get a little action down here and up to the north. No one's really highlighting that, but I think it's a possibility. CSU's been highlighting that a tiny bit, that potential. Let me go back to CSU. Let's get back to, where was it? So I have to go in here. So yeah, I mean, this is, here it is. So this is the Wednesday threat for CSU. Even ignore that it says Thursday. I think this is going to shift a little bit to the south, and there's some potential for some severe weather down here in this region on Wednesday. We'll have to see. Not completely sold on it. I definitely think we're going to have a little bit of severe weather up here, and there'll be some tornado chances up here. There's going to be capping issues, but we'll be watching that. I think we'll be watching these areas Wednesday, and then we'll potentially obviously be watching kind of this region Thursday, and then we'll be maybe watching a little region out here on Friday. Yeah, so Claire, would you say your thoughts on next week looks crazy? You meaning like not, like this upcoming week looks, like it could be bad, could not be bad. There's the timing's a little bit off on a lot of our severe weather parameters. The thing is, like the week after, like if we're talking about from the 19th on, looks insane for severe weather. Looks like maybe we could have 2-3 days of outbreaks in a row, but it's so far out. This has a lot more time to change. So you can't be sold on it when we're talking about 200 plus hours out. High dew points around the southeast. Well, yeah, look at these dew points here moving forward. Look at this. I mean, this is this upcoming Friday. Crazy dew points across portions of the Tennessee Valley, lower Mississippi Valley, southeast, up the Atlantic coast. That's crazy. And yeah, if we get that severe threat a little bit farther to the south with these dew points we're seeing here in Kentucky, southern Illinois, Southeastern Missouri. I mean, we could have a surprise. We could have a little bit of a surprise threat down here, Thursday especially. Yeah. I mean, what the low level jet on the this is what's impressing me, and I keep saying it, but this to me, this looks like a mid-level jet, not a low-level jet, because of the velocities and the size of it for next Monday. That would be in Pam Town. So we'll have to watch. This is plenty of time. This is so La La Land, so that can switch. But that would be, that would definitely be Oklahoma, Nebraska, or Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa for sure. And we'll have to see how that develops. Potentially Texas as well. All right. All right, I got 5 more minutes. Anything for Sant's Restaurant? Bringing in Enzo neutral, it's about average, I believe. Oh, you guys are... Yeah, I still think we're going to stay in Enzo neutral. Oh, I got to look at the latest Enzo forecast. I think we got an updated Enzo forecast. The weather, yeah, the weather, we had a... We've already broken a lot of records this severe weather season, but it's very weird. It is very weird though that we're seeing our slowdown in May right now, because this is usually our most active period. But we had a crazy April. I'm watching Nebraska this Wednesday, and then I'm watching it as we get into around the 19th. Well, yeah, luckily for you in South Carolina, you're expected to get a lot of rainfall over the next 48 hours. Like a lot. Like pretty much for the whole state. So that should help your forest fires. Here, I mean, we can look at 48-hour quantitative precipitation. Look at South Carolina. I'll take you down there. This is 48-hour quantitative precipitation. This is just over the next 48 hours. I mean, the lowest I see is an inch, but I mean, we're talking anywhere from 2 to 5 inches potentially across a big portion of the state. So that's pretty good. Everyone's getting in on the fun. That'll help your fires down here. Will we finally get a dry weekend next week in central Massachusetts? Next week, I don't know. We can take a look what the Euro thinks right now, but looks pretty dry. Get a little high pressure settling in up there until at least Wednesday, and then it gets messy again. Maybe you'll have a nice Monday and Tuesday. That's all it looks like right now. Plenty of time for that to change, though. You'll hit with an EF4 in 2011. Ooh, 2011. Not a fun year. No problem. Probably having contractions and on. Oh my gosh, you better. Oh my gosh, yeah, Yali. Okay, thanks for being in here, Yali. Hopefully she stops messing with you. Yali's a pro. I'm not even worried. I know Yali's a pro. Solar Geotech CS5. Yeah, that's wild. I would love to see EF5 in my life with my own eyes. Just say EF2 would do it for me. Well, I don't want to say EF, F2, F3, because I'm talking about wins. I don't need it to destroy stuff. EF just means it's the enhanced just means it's destroying stuff. EFU. Of course I want to. Of course I mean, I've seen water spouts. And I was in a tornado Like a tornado went over my mom's house during a hurricane, and it ripped at the whole net. Like it was crazy sounding, but I didn't see it with my own eyes. I was freaking in a closet, shaking because I was like 8. How's Northern Kentucky looking for Friday? Ooh, I can already tell you I don't think so good, but let's take a look. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. I mean, we don't have any short ranges for Friday. There's going to be some thunderstorms in the region. So it looks like later Friday, evening and on, is when you'd probably see the worst weather. Maybe even some severe weather on Friday for Northern Kentucky. So yeah, it's a scary sound. Well, I know some people say it doesn't sound like a freight train, but I think different tornadoes sound different because, like, 100% the one that hit that we were in, I think it was like Hurricane Francis, and we were in the closet and it was windy and everything, and the winds were loud because, like, it was Francis or Gene. It hit us like a weak Category 3 and around. My mom lived in Palm City, and I actually lived in Coral Springs, like an hour and a half south. And my parents knew I was obsessed with weather, and I begged, because I was with my dad, and I begged him to let me go up to my mom so I could be there for the hurricane. And he was like, fine, because I wanted to be where the hurricane was making landfall, which is where my mom lived. And yeah, I went up there, and then it got really loud, and we were in the closet, but it was just like normal, like, okay, there's like pretty strong winds outside, like whatever, 90 mile per hour sustained, like 130, 40 gusting. And then out of nowhere, it was like, no, it was freight train. That was the way mine sounded. Like it was like, yeah, like I was in a subway and there's a train passing me, and that's when I got scared. I was like, oh crap, I didn't expect this, because I was in like Hurricane Wilma, which was the eye of Hurricane Wilma went over my house in South Florida, and that was a strong Cat 2, weak Cat 3. It was not that loud. I mean, that was extreme. We were out of school for like a month and a half, or a month, because our school roof got ripped off and we didn't have power for weeks, and that was a bad one. But like the noise, no, that nowhere near. The Elkhorn one was like a freight train, but more chaotic. That's what my son did. Yeah, because well, in the Joplin and Twister documentary, they were like, it wasn't like a freight train. It was like I forget what they said, but that's different because they were in like, they were in like a EF5. So I was not in an EF5. So I'm guessing it's much worse. Yeah, that's basically what happened. I was like, oh my God, I didn't expect this. Yeah, that's the thing, B, right? It would be hard to describe it because there's so very few people who will ever experience it. I forgot how they described it in the Twister documentary. It was interesting. Oh, they described it like if you were standing right in front of like a Boeing jet engine, like a commercial Boeing jet engine, like at full velocity, just standing in front of it. That's how they explained it. Like it was just like a huge jet engine in their ear. I'm like, yeah, that'd probably be even louder than the freight train. Yeah, I can imagine that's what it'd be like. Yeah, those planes do move at speeds up there that the EF5 tornado would be moving at, or at least the rotation of the winds. 200-300 miles per hour. What's up with the weather forecast? Just joined. Look at this CPC outlook. Texas stays warm, but we all get a break up here. Texas. So, yeah, here's what's going on. SBC does have a day 6. Pivotal weather's messing around. Not much threats over the next couple days. Some marginals. Northern Rockies. Southeast again. We could get a slight upgrade either these days. Sunday or Monday. It's possible. I'm not seeing a big tour threat, though. we are paying attention to this Wednesday and Thursday because, just for anyone who just joined the stream, because we do have a nice little trough moving here, bringing in some good low-level shear. We'll have some high dew points. We'll have some instability in the region, and we could see a severe weather threat out here through the central to northern plains on Wednesday, and then we could see, this would be our potentially our Thursday threat. I think we're going to see a threat zone, something like this. So that's what we're watching right now. Things look really crazy when we get out towards the 19th. This is when things look really, really insane. This would, if our captain hold, would probably be a tornado breakout a tornado outbreak type setup. But this is too far out to know if that pattern's going to hold. This pattern could easily fall apart in the next model, and then we'd all be perfectly good. So nothing to worry about yet, just something to keep our eye on. All right, I got to go to bed, everyone. Ziddy, I appreciate you. Nothing crazy for Houston in the next few days. Let's take a look at your rainfall totals. Yeah, not even much rainfall. You guys are chilling. You guys are going to get hot, though. You guys are going to get real hot this week. You guys are getting all of Texas is getting into the hundreds. South San Antonio and South could get up to 110. Yeah, heat index. Yeah. All right. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mamas. Seriously. Happy Mother's Day. Everyone have a great night. I'll be posting tomorrow. I'll be up early. My son's going to make sure he wakes me up at 6:30 in the morning because he loves me so much. He just loves me so much. He wants to make sure he wakes me up at the crack of dawn. So I'll be up updating my Discord. Listen, if anyone's ever up early, listen, I'm going to be up at 7, 8 on my Discord just updating stuff. I'll chat in there. I get bored. I'm sitting here updating Discord for an hour and a half in the morning. I can't wait to get some mods and talk to you guys, and you guys can help me. So everyone have a great night. I will see you tomorrow, and we're going to get some interesting model runs, I think, to see what's going to happen Wednesday and Thursday tomorrow. So that'll be nice to look over. Everyone have a great night. You guys are awesome. You in the back. Santi, what's up before I get off? Santi, message me on TikTok.